Hello everyone and welcome back to another Star Wars The Black Series action figure review. Today we're tapping into the Star Wars zeitgeist by taking a look at the Jedi Master Ki-Adi-Mundi, who's been quite the topic of conversation recently, hasn't he? We're finally getting a look at this one in hand after he was initially announced almost 2 years ago at San Diego Comic-Con back in 2022. Now, I don't know what exactly has taken Hasbro so long to get this figure out, but regardless of the reason for his delay, I'm ecstatic that he's finally here, and this figure does not disappoint, and we'll get into why that is later on in the review. But before we kick things off, as always, I'd just like to point out that this figure is currently available at staractionfigures.co.uk. If you'd like to purchase this one for yourself, there is of course a link down below in the video description. And also another huge thanks goes out to the team at Hasbro UK who were kind enough to supply this figure for a review. So without further ado, let's dive into this one, and we'll kick things off as always by taking a look at the packaging that he comes in. So as you can see, pretty standard stuff with regards to the packaging for Ki-Adi-Mundi. As you can see on the front and sides of the box, we do have this colour band that indicates that the character is from Star Wars Attack of the Clones. However, there's nothing really scene specific or costume specific about this figure that depicts him from episode 2. So if you've got a display in your collection for the Phantom Menace or Revenge of the Sith, this figure will fit in there nicely as well. On the side of the box, you've got this very dramatic image of the Jedi Master himself, looking very ominous. Definitely got a dark side tinge to that image. It really goes hard, and I'm not entirely sure why Hasbro decided, of all the Jedi, to depict Ki-Adi-Mundi in this mural artwork as one of the most dramatic looking. Probably because he is one of the most dramatic, who knows, but there we go. Really cool image. You've got Geonosis in the background there. Really cool illustration. On the back we have an image once again of the character and a brief description of Ki-Adi-Mundi as well, and as you can see, this is number 4 in the Attack of the Clones lineup within this phase of Black Series packaging. Only the 4th figure. That is wild to me, considering that the Mandalorian has about 39-40 figures in it. It'd be nice to see some more love for Attack of the Clones down the line. Hasbro, if you're listening. So there we go, that is the packaging. Moving on to the figure, let's take a look at what we get inside. So here we have Ki-Adi-Mundi in all his glory, and right out of the gate, this is an absolutely incredible figure. And the first thing that I want to touch on with it is the absolutely incredible head sculpt. This is such a faithful likeness to the character that we see on screen. Every little wrinkle in his head and face, and every hair in his beard and ponytail are all captured really nicely, and it's such a phenomenal head sculpt. Really good stuff. Even as you can see on the back, the little ponytail, the little headband there is, or bobble, depending on what you want to call it, even that's painted, which is a detail that Hasbro could have quite easily overlooked, but it's there and it's appreciated. Just such a phenomenal figure all round, and the head sculpt really tops it off. Really cool, as you can see. The paint applications, like I said, are absolutely amazing. The photorealistic paint apps, for example, are really nicely applied. I've always found Ki-Adi-Mundi to have quite a daunting face, and that's captured here with these really piercing eyes and very stern expression. The outfit is wonderfully sculpted too. The brown hooded tunic is nicely done with a faux fabric sculpted detail, as are the lighter robes underneath. The belt is also nicely painted, and there's a plug on there to install the lightsaber hilt if you don't want to display him with the saber ignited. As you can see, you've got an ammo pouch or storage container attached to the belt there, which is sculpted to the robes underneath, and that detail does continue throughout the rest of the figure into the boots, the trousers. As you can see, really nice stuff going on with regards to the overall sculpted detail. Now, the hooded tunic is a separate overlay, which is a really nice thing to see because it doesn't hinder articulation. It's made of a very nice, soft, malleable plastic, so that's always good. And in terms of articulation, Ki-Adi-Mundi is packed to the brim and comes with some very cool articulation changes, which we'll touch on in just a moment. So we do have, as always, a ball hinge, or a ball joint should I say, at the head and neck. As always, there's a ball joint in the base of the head and in the bottom of the neck, which allows for lots of free flowing movement. We have really nice fluid butterfly joints in the shoulders, which allow Ki-Adi-Mundi to hold his lightsaber with both hands, which is always good. We have these seamless elbow joints as well, once again pinless articulation technology, so those are hidden really nicely. And for the first time, as far as I can remember, we do have not ball hinged but ball jointed wrists, which I think need to become the standard for Black Series figures, as it creates just a flawless look, really lifelike, and you get a lot of movement out of those. And again, in addition to the butterfly joints in the shoulders, it really helps Ki-Adi-Mundi to be able to hold the lightsaber with both hands. So that's really, really cool to see, and I hope that we get more of that down the line. We also have a ball joint at the torso as well. Hinges at the hips. Once again, the lower tunic is made of a soft rubbery plastic as well, so again the articulation isn't hindered too badly there. We also have swivels at the upper thigh, which again is really nice to see because recent figures have been missing that articulation point. We do have hinges in the knee, which once again are seamless. There's no pins there, which is always good. We also have a swivel at the upper leg or upper boot, shin, depending on what you want to call that. That can turn, as you can see. And finally we have hinges and the standard rocker joints at the ankles. So really good articulation on this one. Like I said, you can get him in some amazing poses, and one of the things I desperately want to see now in the Black Series is a 6-inch scale Galactic Marine, so that I can display a couple of these guys standing behind Ki-Adi-Mundi, hunting him down, ready to execute Order 66. I think that would make for a fantastic display within the collection. But yeah, I'm absolutely stunned by this figure. It came out so well. Hasbro have done a fantastic job with it, and it is definitely a contender for figure of the year. It is really good. With articulation in mind and aside, one more thing to point out is the accessory that he comes with. Just the one. He does come with a lightsaber, of course, and as I mentioned, the blade can be removed and the lightsaber hilt can be stored on the belt there, which is always nice to see. So yeah, I'm really happy with this figure. I think you will be too if you pick it up for yourself. And yeah, absolutely floored by this one. And again, just want to emphasize that epic head sculpt that Ki-Adi-Mundi has. Really impressed with that, and definitely puts the cherry on top of a already very tasty cake. So that's a wrap on Ki-Adi-Mundi from Star Wars The Black Series. In conclusion, a figure that has been a long time coming, but it most definitely delivers. If I was inclined to make a list of 2024's best Black Series figures, Ki-Adi-Mundi would almost certainly be right there near the top. Hasbro have outdone themselves here, and the only negative thing I have to say about it is that he does feel a little bit top heavy. There seems to be a decent amount of extra padding in Ki-Adi-Mundi's robes, especially in the upper body, and as such he's quite a surprisingly chunky figure, and his ankles don't always support him, and he's taken a dive off my shelf a couple of times already. Other than that, he's absolutely perfect, though this release really does make me wish we had a Black Series Commander Bakara to pair him with. Overall though, I'm over the moon with this figure, and if you pick him up for yourself once again, I think you will be too. He's a great addition to your Jedi ranks, and I hope we continue to see more Jedi Council members released as the Black Series line continues. So as always guys, thank you for tuning into this review. I'll be back with many more very soon. Until then, as always, keep collecting, and may the Force be with you.